Hey YouTube, it's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul and welcome to another video. Today we'll be making a Kendrick Lamar type beat out of straight samples from a Cymatics sample pack. You can go ahead and download that in the description box below. It's a dope Kendrick Lamar sample pack by Cymatics, and today we're going to take those sounds and make a full beat out of that. So let's go ahead and open up that sample pack. Here it is right here, the Humble Hip Hop sample pack. And to start off this track, I usually like to dive right into the melodies. So let's go ahead and open up the melody loops folder. And let's just preview some of these that we have here. Oh, all right, I like that one. That sample could be flipped into like a Take Keith type sample. All right, so I think I like this one here. All right, so let's go ahead and drag that in here. And the thing with Kendrick Lamar type beats, it pretty much stays the same, just there's some dropouts in and out of the track. So this is going to be pretty much our fundamental sound for the entire song that we're going to put together. Do we want to import the tempo? Sure. So tempo is 130 beats per minute. Let's go ahead and just cut off this endpoint here. Let's go ahead back into our sample folder here. And let's bring in, let's start off with the 808. So let's go back one, we'll go drums, one shots, 808s. Cymatics labels everything nicely in folders. All right, let's take that one because it's in G and our song is in G minor, so the root notes are the same. So let's go ahead and just push this off to the side for now and bring in a new sampler, software instrument track. And we're going to bring in Logic's Alchemy. And let's just file initialize this preset. And let's drag in that 808 sample to a sampler track right there. And now it's going to sort of laid out across our keys. And let's just draw in an 808 pattern to get this loop started. Let's just put it on the ones. All right, so that sounds good like that. Next, let's go ahead and let's bring in some more drum elements when creating a new software instrument track. And let's build out an EXS24 sampler instrument. All right, so let's go back to our Cymatics Humble Hip Hop sample pack and go to drums, one shots. And let's go ahead and bring in a snare here. So let's see what we got here. Let's go ahead and take that one and drag that in. So click edit on our EXS24 instrument. And let's go ahead and drag in this snare. Now we're going to make sure that we are going to drag it in on the right note so that we can sample it properly and be in the right key for this record. So this one is labeled as B. So we're going to put that on a B. And we're going to drag it down a couple semitones to get that G so that it's in key with our track. So let's go ahead and save this instrument. All right, and let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. Maybe we'll make it a little louder here for this record, and let's draw that in. Give ourselves some more space here. Okay, now, where did we put that snare? Let's find it. There it is right there. Put a little right there. Let's put another one there. All right, that sounds good. Let's go ahead and duplicate that. Open up Logic's EXS24 instrument, and let's bring in a kick. Let's go ahead and find a kick here. So let's just go ahead and play through some of these. All right, so let's take this one. It's a little bit punchier here. And we'll punch through that 808. So let's go ahead and pull that in here. And once again, this is labeled on the E. So we're going to go ahead and put it on E and just pitch it up a couple semitones so that it hits that G. So that's in key with our track. Click save. That's why it's nice when our samples are key labeled. We're going to close that up, and let's draw in that kick pattern. All right, let's put it on the, that's the snare. There it is right there. Do like a little stutter at the end here. All right, that sounds good. I'm just going to add a limiter here so we're not distorting too much like crazy. Just push it back a little bit here. All right, so next, let's go ahead and bring in some of those. Let's bring in some hi-hats here. I know there's a hi-hat pack here, or sorry, hi-hat folder. Let's go to drum loops. We'll go to hi-hat loops, and let's just cycle through some of these. All right, so that one's at 130. I feel like I like that bounce better. All right, let's take this hi-hat sample and drag that in. Now, since this is a little bit faster, it's going to be shorter than 130 bars, but all we have to do in Logic is hold down Option on our keyboard and hover over the end region right here, click and drag so that it lines up, and now it's in time with everything. All right, so we don't want to make this the exact same loop, so let's go ahead and just chop it up a bit and make it our own. So let's take out this portion right here. Then let's go ahead and just copy this half point here. So let's just zoom in on this, and on the half, we're going to cut it right there. And then let's duplicate that. Maybe we'll take this one out here. Let's take out that last hi-hat roll at the end here. For some reason, I can't hit the on the bar, cut on the bar here. Let's cut right there. And let's just take this and copy that over like that. So let's just keep this a little bit more simple. We're just going to take out this, just copy this section over like that. Keep the hi-hats a little more simple. Go ahead on this track, we're going to go to delay, sample delay, and we'll just create a Haas effect which sort of widens up this sound. We're going to delay one channel a little bit. We don't want to do that. Just want to do that a little bit just to widen that up. Sounds good like that. All right, now let's go ahead and flip back to our sample pack here. And there's some top loops here. Maybe we can add to it. Just gonna increase the, let me just see what these tempos are at here. That's 115, 170, it's a little fast. All right, let's take this one over here. Let's go ahead and drag that in, just like that. And once again, because this is 90 beats per minute and our track is 130, it's going to be a lot slower and out of time. So we're going to go ahead to the end of the region, option click on our keyboard, click and drag, shorten it up to those 4 bars. All right, so let's go ahead and chop this up. It doesn't need to be that hectic. Let's take out this middle piece here. Take that out. We'll take this out as well. Let's take this out over here. Alright, so that sounds good like that. As you can see, when you're working with loops, you don't actually have to use what the loop comes with. You can chop it up and create your own bounce rhythm with it. Alright, next let's go ahead and go back to our sample pack. And let's bring in effects here. Maybe we could add in some of that. Alright, so that's pretty cool for a Kendrick Lamar track. So let's go ahead and put that in right now. I'm thinking we're going to put it right there. Let's just shorten this up so it's in time. Let's lower that. Maybe we'll bring in one more loop here. Let's go back to our folder. And let's bring another top loop here. Drums, top loops. Which one would work here? Let's take this one right here. No. It's like a basic hi-hat pattern right there. Let's drag that in. Once again, we have to retime this to our 130 beats per minute. So we're just going to drag that like that. It just adds another layer to that hi-hat. So let's go ahead and just lower that a bit though. Alright, so we got a pretty good foundation right there for a Kendrick Lamar beat. Let's go ahead and start stretching this out and turning it into more of a fuller arrangement with different drop-ins and drop-outs. So for the intro, let's work backwards here. Let's start at the intro. Let's drag this over. And maybe we'll keep the way this loop sounds. Actually, we'll make this track build. So build with that. Let's move this over. This will play out once again. But this time we're going to add in a sort of like a bass sound here. We're going to bring in Logic's ES2 synthesizer. And we are going to bring in Logic's, not Logic's, a preset we put together, the Drake Moog bass. And let's draw in a pattern first and maybe adjust that sound in a moment. Let's see here. Let's go down to a lower octave. Start on the G. Do that again. That's not the G. That's the G right there. Let's duplicate that. And we'll drop it lower here. I actually don't think we need to touch the sound right there. We're just going to go ahead and open up an EQ and filter out some of those highs so they don't interrupt that flute melody. We'll use this as our build up sort of section here, and we're gonna do a quick drop here as Kendrick Lamar likes to do at the end of this loop. So we're gonna go ahead and bring in our fade tool. Where's it here? Fade tool, and we're gonna draw in a fade, something like that, a basic fade, except we're gonna go ahead and select more here on our inspector, and we're gonna change our fade out to a slow down so it's more like a tape stop, and we get this effect. And we're going to cut this last note here so it's shorter. So it drops out with that. So now we get this for sort of our semi-intro. And maybe we'll go ahead and duplicate this over. And then maybe at the end here, we'll cut out some of these loops. Let's just take out the last bit here. Last bit here. All right, that sounds good like that. What I'm thinking here is we're gonna go ahead and halftime this sample right here just to change it up so it's not the same sound throughout the entire record, but we're gonna be still using that same sample loop. So create a new, actually we can just do this, click this, double click here, creates the same audio track. And we're gonna drag this down here. And for this, we're gonna go ahead and put something called halftime on this to kind of change up the sound. So let's go ahead and under audio effects, we're gonna go to, it's a plugin by Cable Guys and it's called Halftime. And it sounds like this once it's applied. So it's going to be like a nice switch up right there. So we'll leave it on those settings at 1 bar. The only thing I'm going to do here is just filter out some of the lows so it's not too muddy. Let's just turn this one on here. Could because we're going to add in our own bass in a moment. So we don't need all that muddiness to kind of clash with our bass. So let's go ahead and push that up here to sort of mid-rangey. Focus on that flute. And all right, that sounds good. Let's go ahead and bring back our bass, I think. Let's go ahead and change up that pattern. So let's drag this one out. We'll go dun, dun. And sort of like another build up into the verse or second section. We'll do the same thing here. It goes dun, dun. All right, so that's a nice build up happening now. Now we're going to drag that over and let's bring in back some of our elements. I was building a nice bass up there. Let's go ahead and just drag this over, add in some hats and percussion. All right, let's go ahead and just shorten this up here. Take that out, shorten up this one. So it really just focuses on that melody. And then we'll drop into the beat. Let's go ahead and just push over another 4 bars. And let's go ahead and just drag over. Well, first we'll drag over this. And we're going to drag over this entire pattern, just like that. Let's drag over this. Something like that. Let's take out this too, just to switch it up. All right, so for here, we're gonna go ahead and cut out this, just like that. And we'll cut out our snare as well, because we're gonna sort of filter this into our next section. But what we're gonna do here is, once again, apply a fade. So let's apply maybe a longer fade on this one. Let's go slow down. Okay, that's a little bit too dragged out. Let's make that a little bit quicker. Make that even quicker. Or maybe we'll bring this sounds back here. Let's see how that sounds. All right, so we'll leave it like that. That sounds good. And then let's go ahead and bring back this right over here. And then let's go ahead and switch this up once again. We're gonna go ahead this time and let's bring in back our regular one, which is right here. We're gonna copy this over. So go from this. But for this one, I figure we can sort of switch up the 808s and create a new pattern. Like I said, Kendrick Lamar, for the most part, the beats are very similar, or sorry, the arrangement, but there's some elements that kind of changes up and switches up. So our 808s are right over here. And we're going to create a sort of a funkier 808. So let's go ahead and draw that in right now. Sort of be a faster one as well. Let's bring it down here. let's just go ahead and duplicate that over. Maybe at the ending here, we're going to switch that up to something like this. And bring that one down. That's not in key. All right, so that sounds good like that. And then what we're going to do here is just copy this one over. Something like that. We'll take that one out. And what we're going to do here for the pattern, we're just going to copy over this stuff here, but without the 808. You know, do something like that. And maybe we'll go back into this section right over here. I'm gonna switch up something here. I don't think the, oh no, that was good. I think the switch up from here to here was not good. So we're gonna do here, take out this, and we're just gonna copy over the same hi-hat pattern. Maybe it'll flow a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Is a sort of quick arrangement of a Kendrick Lamar type beat. You got all the different sort of sections that you can use in the record. Like I said, the patterns for Kendrick Lamar beats usually sort of loops itself, sort of classic hip hop style, but there's some change-ups along the way. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Listen to the beat that we just put together, a Kendrick Lamar type beat using a free sample pack from Cymatics. Let's go. Alright, so that right there is a Kendrick Lamar type beat using a sample pack for inspiration. As you can see from this, you can take a sample pack and build out a whole song from it. You don't have to use the exact loops. You can kind of chop it up, flip it, halftime it, do what you want to it, and just make your own beat from those sounds. If you do want to download this sample pack, the link is in the description box below this video. You can click that and you get a bunch of Kendrick Lamar sounds. Really dope, as you heard in this video. If you do have any question on this or just want to chat, let's go ahead and talk in the comment section below. If you did like this video, remember to thumbs up, share it, and if you're new to I'm a Music Mogul, remember to hit that subscribe button for more great videos like this one. I'll talk to y'all soon. Later. Peace.